Hey, and good morning. Thanks for tuning in again to World Collective Media, previously known as Fire News. But hey, guys, changes happen. So we'd like to welcome you to World Collective Media, where global voices unite, truth meets perspective, and culture, faith, politics, and current events collide in real conversation. This is more than news, guys. This is media coverage for the people, by the people. This is more than commentary. This is a collective of information, knowledge, and wisdom, and the latest breaking stories near you in your neighborhood. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, guys. We're tuning in live to you from the Fire Tube TV studios. Make sure you catch your everyday news here at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. This is from the streets to the sanctuary, from global headlines to grassroots movements. We bring you insight without filters, dialogue without fear, and discussions that challenge tradition while seeking truth. Streaming worldwide, connecting communities, amplifying voices that refuse to be silenced. You're now tapped into World Collective Media. Let's build, let's reason, let's elevate. We're bringing you some fire news. We're going to jump right on into that news. Religious tension in the Middle East. Again, this is always going to be a major topic in the media. There's no peace in the Middle East. West Bank incident during Ramadan. This is a holy sanctuary. Reported mosque vandalism during Ramadan. Rising tensions over sacred spaces. Broader religious freedom conversation. It's getting hot out there. Discussions prompt. Should international bodies intervene more aggressively when houses of worship are attacked? That's just something to think about. This is happening in the news, your area, somewhere across the world. Religious freedom debate in India and conversion disputes. Funeral rights dispute tied to alleged conversion. Funeral rights it's a dispute tied to alleged conversion. Reports of rising tension involving Christian communities. Cultural tradition versus religious liberty. 2026. These are the major top of the conversations in today's media. Large-scale industry chemical plant fire. This seems to happen often. Downtown commercial structure blaze. Firefighter safety funding bunker gear protection. Abandoned building rapid response. Let's thank the firefighters for the jobs that they do, guys, because there are fighters all across this world, wildfires that we are still seemingly trying to fight. So, discovery of religious items in criminal hideouts. Faith as identity versus faith as transformation. Can someone claim devotion while living contrary to spiritual principles? How does criminals have religious items? Something to think about. Declining religious identification in parts of the West. As the pews empty, the pastors are sweating and getting frustrated. Okay, guys, we're going to turn into some of your political news that's heading on across the world. I mean, I ask you guys if you want and you know the latest stories and you have some hot happening news, go ahead and contact us here at World Collective Media. We are bringing the news from the people by the people. Because a lot of our news was news that we couldn't use. Now, this is going to be news that you could use. Media coverage from all around the world. Make sure, again, you are liking, sharing, and hitting that notification bell so that you'll get the notification when we are live every day at 9 a.m. If you have knowledge and information and you want to do a presentation, go ahead and reach out to us. You can contact us. There should be a link in the bottom. If you ever want to be a part of a discussion, a debate, we do more here at World Collective Media than just the news. So we're still facing an ongoing debate over immigration and border reinforcement. Supreme Court cases shaping federal authority. Campaign rhetoric and intensifying ahead of election season. Also, we're fighting for the right to have a voter ID. Just tell guys what you think about having a voter ID. Is this impeding on your rights? Or is this going to help us make sure that we have a clean cut, clear election process? Across in Bangladesh, 2026 general election held its long anticipated national election on February 12, 2026, the first major vote since the 2024 uprising that ended a long political era. The Bangladesh National Party, BNP, won a landslide victory, significantly reshaping the country's political landscape. New coalitions and opposition alliances played key roles in the contest. This election has been described as the world's first Gen Z inspired democratic moment due to the widespread youth involvement. Okay, youth, they stepping up. In your Nepal general election, March 5th, 2026. Nepal is holding early preliminary elections after mass youth-led protests toppled the previous government. 18.9 million registered voters will choose all 275 members of the House of Representatives using both first past the post and proportional representation system. 18.9 million registered voters over there in Nepal. Young former mayor and ex-rapper Belladrina Baleen Shah Benadryl. I'm sorry, let me get the name correct. It looked like you said Benadryl. Belindra. So this is a young former mayor and ex-rapper. Balin Shah is a central figure against traditional political leaders, spotlighting youth demand for reform. Okay, so see, this is why we need a collective of media news, because the youth are getting it busy over there in Nepal. Okay, Republic of the Congo, presidential vote. Presidential elections are scheduled in the Republic of the Congo, where longtime President Denis Sassou Nguesso seeks another term after decades in office. Opposition groups have formed alliances to challenge his dominance, though the political environment remains tightly controlled. Over there in Slovenia, all of Slovenia, go on a map and look it up. Let's start utilizing and refreshing our memory on some of these things. We might need to know where it's at one day. Slovenia has set March 22nd for its next preliminary election, with campaigning and candidate submissions underway. Political parties are preparing for a vote that will define the makeup of the National Assembly for the coming term. Japan general election outcome. Japan's Liberal Democratic Party, LDP, secured a historic landslide majority in recent elections, winning a 2/3 supermajority in the House. Okay, so let's get this one again, because Japan's Liberal Democratic Party. So this is news that you could use. It is World Collective Media, because apparently Japan has a Democratic Party as well. LDP secured a historic landslide majority in recent elections, winning a 2/3 super majority in the House. The result reinforces the LDP's dominance and follows a period of political shifts, with smaller and far-right parties also gaining seats. Okay, Japan. You know, it's always going to be a struggle. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Portugal, presidential election result. Former Socialist Party leader Antonio Jose Serguro won Portugal's presidential election with over 66% of the vote. While largely a ceremonial role, the presidency still affects legislative direction, including debates on nationality and immigration laws. That's in Portugal. This is a largely ceremonial role. The presidency still affects legislative direction. Okay. So even though it's not presidential, it's more ceremonial. That's news you could use. Haiti opens registration for first election in a decade. This is World Collective Media. We in the world of Haiti right now. Haiti has opened a 10-day registration period for political parties to prepare for what would be its first general election in over 10 years, targeted for August 2026. We're going to keep you updated on that. The move comes amid ongoing gang violence and instability that have plagued the nation's electoral prospects. Who? Okay. Who, Haiti? That one was something. Nigeria's electoral outlook. Nigeria's Electoral Commission has cautioned that the 2027 general election may not be perfect due to the logistical challenges, but intends to improve processes, including result transmission. So Nigeria is still just copacetic. They just at a standstill. Ukraine and election challenges. In Ukraine, debates continue over whether nationwide elections can be held amid ongoing war. So, Ukraine doesn't want any elections during an ongoing war. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think about that. Again, this is for the people, by the people. You get to respond on the coverage of the collective media. Authorities are preparing voter registers, but many say elections should not wait until full security is assured. So the people want to vote now in the midst of the chaos. They still want to have the right to vote and have this election. In the UK, election dynamics and polling. Recent British politics saw that Green Party win a parliamentary seat in Greater Manchester, pushing Labour to the third place in that contest, signaling fragmentation in traditional voting patterns. So, recent British politics saw the Green Party win a parliamentary seat in Greater Manchester, pushing Labour to the third place in that contest, signaling fragmentation in traditional voting patterns. Okay, fine. The world needs change, right? We have to do things different. So kudos for that. Maybe we'll see a change here in America. The Gambia plans 2026 presidential role. The Gambia is scheduled to hold a presidential election on December 5th, 2026, with incumbent Adama Barrow seeking a third term. Okay, Adama Barrow. I'm going to go and look this one up. We don't hear too much. And go and look up Gambia so you can see what that flag looks like. This is world media coverage, guys. How often do you get this coverage over across the world? And this is also live. I am not a robot, and this is not a script. This is live with your host Chosen on World Collective Media. So we're going to have some oopsies. That's to let you know that this is realsies. Okay? Fake news is not for real people. Okay, let's go on over into our entertainment, the hot, juicy gossip that we all like to hear about. Candy and Todd is still going through their divorce. Mama Glow tried to tell him whoever she is. She tried to tell, but hey, it is what it is. So we wish them the best and wish that they can successfully co-parent in this time. So if you guys have, again, some exciting news or breaking news that you think needs to be covered, go ahead and give us a shout out in an inbox so that we can bring you on. You can do an interview. You can do a presentation. If you even have something that you're interested in, you can even join us for coffee and conversation and speak about it. Okay, let's some of our uh we don't does anybody watch Broadway? Hmm. Those who ever wasn't able to be on the Starway. Star-studded Broadway season, Broadway is heating up with big names from film and TV hitting the stage, including Ayo Edebiri, Adrian Brody, Rose Byrne, Don Don Cheadle, and Daniel Radcliffe in major productions. Okay, so we got some familiar names coming up. Is anybody watching television anymore? Or is it just your social media coverage? How do you get your television? Your music and awards. Heart Radio Music Awards coming soon. Heart Radio Music Awards coming soon. The 2026 Heart Radio Music Awards will be produced by Jesse Collins Entertainment and broadcast live from the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles on March 26th. Big nominees include Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, and Sabrina Carpenter. Broad Music Celebration at the 57th NAACP Image Awards. Go ahead, guys. You should get involved. Look up your local NAACP. Go ahead and become a member of that. That is useful to the community. You can use. News you can use. The 57th NAACP Image Awards, Sinners and Abbott Elementary swept top honors. So Sinners was a big movie or series that people spoke about. I didn't get a chance to see it. I don't watch a lot of that, but it swept top honors with performances from Kendrick Lamar and Cardi B, energizing the night. Harry Styles concert film streaming. Harry Styles one night in Manchester, a live event to launch his new album with stream globally on Netflix, a major move for music meets streaming. Charlie XCX's The Moment Goes Digital. The mockumentary. Okay, you guys got to check this out. This is a mockumentary. Let me go and find out what the mockumentary is. Okay, let's see what a mockumentary is. Does anybody know what a mockumentary is? All right. So, a mockumentary is a subgenre of film and television that presents fictional, often satirical stories. Satirical stories in the style of a documentary. These production mimic the conventions of traditional documentaries, including interviews, handheld cameras, and narration to create a realistic appearance for a fabricated event. Okay, so this is supposed to be commentary and funny. Check that out. Go and look up what a mockumentary is. Mockumentary. Mockumentary. All right, back to the news. So I think that's is a unique name, mockumentary. They said there's nothing new under the sun, but that was something new. Mockumentary. Okay, guys, go and check that out. We'll get back to some social. Let's get to some social media coverage. Right now in the social media YouTube debate world, The Holy Ghost has been debating. It's here walking. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at anything. I'm just saying this is media. Okay. So there's the Holy Ghost has claimed to be here. And one day we're hoping to get an interview. Maybe you guys can check that out. We're trying to get an interview with the Holy Ghost. But he's been on a knockout sensation in his debate league with Cynetter TV and their debate coliseum. So that is one of the interesting things. And we have some more Christs that are here out on the earth. One in particular, he's famous on the book. Is his name Lando Bando, I believe, and he's Martin Luther King created incarnate. I don't know if you guys, if you've met him and you think so, just check him out. But this is what's going on in the media coverage today. In case you haven't tuned in, they are here, so they say. And there is one more. He's been on the TikTok social media, I believe, and one other, yes. He is Yah J. Judah. He's Christ incarnate. Allegedly. This is I've heard it from the horse's mouth. So hopefully we will round them up one day and get a full-fledged interview so we can see who, if these guys say they are the real deal Holyfield. We want to know. This is what World Collective Media is all about. We're here to give you not only mainstream news, but the real media coverage, because they say that they are right. They're here. So we're looking forward to getting an interview with them coming up soon. Be tuning in to that. Some of your social media crash outs. We still got some bang outs and the crash out culture going on Instagram and Facebook. So be aware of that, folks. Protect your energy, your zen. Because I am your host, Chosen. And I'm going to tell you that when you get to watching Baddies, that's another media coverage. Honey, it's getting brutal out there. Oh man, they are duking it up. These women are in their full force of power. Does it look like, or is this really bringing down the value of our family and our society? Is Baddies bringing a bad image amongst Black women all around the world? This is news we could use. This is media coverage, because everybody knows Zeus Network, of course, and some of the coverage that they do is explicit. Do they have the freedom of the liberty to be explicitly, allegedly, quote unquote, aggressive? No, this is just brutal. I mean, they beat that girl to a pulp. Summer got beat up and was found out that her and what's the baddie? Big Lex had a fling going on. So we're giving you all kind of coverage, guys. Collective media. This is World Collective Media, and this is some of your mainstream media coverage that I'm bringing to you today, the highlight. But back to a more serious note, I'm going to tell you, keep you an update on some of the local fires in your area, bring you a little bit of that. We're hoping to bring on some special guests to cover some of their news and some of their media coverage for the people, by the people. Don't forget that. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. Go ahead also and share this live. Share this live, like, and subscribe. You will be having your local media coverage brought to you every day with your host, Chosen, at 9 a.m. Eastern Central Time. You can also go back and look at some of the old coverages and news stories to keep us updated on what we've covered in the past. Stay tuned. You can find on this channel some hot discussion later on this evening, brought to you by the Ring of Fire. Very informative discussion, and it may get a little heated, folks, but you're going to want to tune in. It's very family friendly and very knowledgeable information being passed through social media right now. And we want you to tune in and be a part of that. Your voice matters as well. Okay, so we got a large scale fire at the industrial chemical facility. And this is in New Jersey. Another large chemical plant fire. Our thoughts and condolences and prayers goes out to each one of those family members and workers who have been involved. So, multiple fire units responded with hazmat protocols. Thick smoke impacted nearby communities. Let's keep that involved. Also, to remember to donate to your local Red Cross for these reasons. Our cities properly equipped for industrial disasters, guys? Our politicians and our elected officials, are they doing the most that they can to provide equipment and necessary tools for us to function cohesively still in this society? Downtown commercial building fire. Another one. Multi-story commercial property heavily damaged, businesses displaced, cause is under investigation. And this is in downtown Detroit. That's in downtown Detroit, Michigan. Wow. A residential house fire, safety reminder. Common causes, unattained cooking, electrical faults, improper ash disposal from fireplaces. Install working smoke alarms. Store fireplace ashes in metal containers away from structures. Never overload your outlets. So be mindful on those safety hazards for fires. All righty, folks. And that includes your World Collective Media for today. A half hour of coverage, but information that you can use. So today we went over the world elections and what their updates are. So if you are not a registered voter and you want to make an impact and have an impact and you think that it's never mattered before, well, let's try it and see. You have that option. Get out there and don't forget to register to vote. And you also can, if you need a little extra cash, you can sign up to work for your election officials. You go down to your election commission and apply to be a poll worker. So that will bring you in at least a couple $100 for that one debating event. And it's minimal work. Take the training and you have a little extra cash in your pocket. If you want to help impact your community, you can make sure that these voting polls are for the people, by the people. Get involved, okay? Because you can earn a little extra cash doing that. And tomorrow we will bring you our special edition, and we'll on Women's History Month. It'll be all about collective media on Women Wednesdays tomorrow. We'll be finding out what's going on in across the world with women for Women's History Month. And we'll leave you with a woman history fact. And we will see you tomorrow again at 9 a.m. a little bit after. Okay, we're live, so we might be on that time. And so 9:15. But the more we get into this coverage, the more you'll see us here promptly and ready to go. Don't forget to tune in and give a little celebration to the women around you in celebration of Women's History Month. So, speaking of voting, just a little fun fact and World Collective Media is that women's right to vote was initiated by Susan B. Anthony and the 19th Amendment. In 1920, the 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote in the United States. Fun fact to know, that's news you could use. Activists like Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton led decades of organizing. Many women of color still face voter suppression until later civil rights reforms. Now, woman power. Also, we'll go with the first woman in space, Valentina Tereshkova. In 1963, Tereshkova became the first woman to travel in space. She orbited Earth 48 times aboard Vostok 6. Her mission broke gender barriers in science and aerospace. First female Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, appointed in 1981. 1981. It took a woman that long to become Supreme Court Justice. I'm sorry, folks, we're live. I am real. And 1981 wasn't that long ago. That was after I was born. That a first female Supreme Court Justice judge became, oh, that's news. Appointed in 1981, she was the first woman on the U.S. Supreme Court. She served nearly 25 years, influenced major constitutional decisions. So, what do we think? Should women be in politics? Should women be in the church? And should women be allowed to be a president? This is Women's History Month. These are topics and discussions that you can tune in live later. Same channel, Ring of Fire Live. Make sure you incorporate the @ symbol. Tune in, like, subscribe, and share. You can tune in for heavy discussion by some very scholastic scholars that is up and coming. This is for the people. You're going to hear some voices out here, folks. I advise you to go ahead and share because we got some great things coming up. Not only are we collectively covering the media, but we are collectively bringing the people to the media. All right. We're going to end this here with DNA discovery contributor, Rosalind Franklin. Franklin's X-ray diffraction images were crucial to understanding DNA's double helix structure. So again, this is Rosalind Franklin. Okay, fact check this, look it up. Franklin's X-ray diffraction images were crucial to the understanding DNA's double helix structure. Her contributions were not fully recognized during her lifetime. How many women in science went uncredited? That's news we could use. We're going to find that out later on in the month of how many, or by this being Women's History Month, we'll do a lot of covering in her story month. So again, Sandra Day O'Connor, first female Supreme Court Justice. Valentina Tereshkova, first woman in space. Susan B. Anthony, and the 19th Amendment, the right to vote, women's right to vote. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in live with World Collective Media. We look forward to having you again tune in and interact with us. Be sure to Look out for those notifications so you can come up and join us live for a discussion. And I'm your host, Chosen, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.